Well, we are going to get started.
Order.
Yeah, order in the court. All right, we're going to get started with bucket fills and what is good. So who wants to start this week? Paigey. Oh.
I just want to thank everybody that showed up to the kickball tournament. We kicked butt and took man, and Minneapolis Lakes is surrounded by men.
I would have to say I thank everybody that participated and it was pretty fun. Got a little intense. I think it started with the cheer, but it was fun. If you didn't see the video, it was intense. All right, who else? Katie, you were gonna say the kick. Well, and we also had an amazing cheering section. I would say, you know, we all came together. I feel like it was really a team, which was fun. So, all right, what else? What else good? I mean, yeah, that was pretty amazing last week, but I'm sure there was other things. Yeah. I don't know. I was pretty excited the whole drive home. So, and the kids were like, Mom, you won. You guys won. And I was like, we did, didn't we? So cheesy. Okay, what else? There has to be something else. Jeff.
I just want to say thanks to Katie and Mary and then Katie, just getting help, kind of getting my Instagram going. So, and putting out a couple of reels.
Which, can we talk about those reels? They are not just like random reels you're putting out. They are like amazing. And what are the views like though? I mean, you sent me a text that it was like a half hour and you had 1,200 views.
Yeah, my first one, I think it's at like 1,100, almost 12. The one I put out on Sunday, just at 2,800. So
It's amazing. Like the reels are the way to go.
What's your?
Can we also say this was the first meeting I ever had with Jeff was like, yeah, I just don't do Instagram. Like I don't actually do social media, I think was the whole thing. He's like, I'm not a social media guy. And here he is just posting reels and doing a great job at it. So well done. What else? What else is good? Jordan, do you have anything good that happened? I mean, you get to see Rick every day. I feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like an assistant, so nothing on my part, but we got some like 5 new listings coming on, so that's good. For the brown estate group.
That's awesome. I also would not say that's not anything because I have never seen Rick so focused in his life. So you've really got him on like
she's
a strict regimen. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know, she's like, I don't want to be called an assistant. I'm an assistant. What's going on? She's the director of operations. She runs the entire show, not only for me, but for half of
That
my
show,
mother
that show.
So, and Jordan brought her boyfriend, who's like 6'4", you know, college athlete, to help us a little bit on the field there, which is awesome. And I also wanted to thank Kevin for obviously teaching his daughter how to be athletic, because holy crap, can that girl play? So that was 3 flyouts.
Like
Great job.
flawlessly as well. Like it looked like there was zero effort. She was like, what?
And she looked good doing it.
That's what I mean.
seriously.
Like, yeah. Yeah. All right. What else? I want to give a shout out to Kevin. So I just walked in here before this meeting and it was incredibly cool to hear. And there were only 6 people in here at that moment, but the conversations and the scripting and the energy and the excitement was really fun. And we talked about how previously when we went into the kickball game, I was like, yeah, that's a really young office. You know, we're not as young. And we actually are. We're getting a lot of really new, young, fun energy. And you're doing a great job with it. So Well done. Chris.
For the kickball tournament.
I mean, if you send Sam, we're good. You can just go wherever you want. Like, I mean, to be quite honest, like, I don't mean to.
Yeah, so I guess we all know the fall tournament we won, so that was good. But I want to piggyback off what Kami said, because this is my second time going through Ignite in like, what, 3 months? And this is my second day, and it's been a lot more interactive and more energy this time, and it's been a lot more fun, so
Awesome.
thank you, Kevin.
Awesome. 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 All right. One more thing. Can't have to do with kickball. It can have to do with Kevin if you want it to do, but one more. Come on, guys. Anybody on Zoom? I'm gonna just sit here and wait for one more good thing that happened last week.
I had a transaction with Jelena, and I've had transactions with other people in the market center, and it's a lot of fun. And last week we're at a team meeting, and Jelena texted me over in the team meeting and said, hey, we're supposed to close on Thursday. Hey, I'm not sure we're gonna be able to close tomorrow. And
wait. During the team meeting, she texted this?
it was
Oh, okay.
until during the team meeting. But I kept my mouth closed, didn't say anything until the team meeting ended, and I threw a marker at her and I said, get it done, right? So she calls me later afterwards to say, hey, just want to let you know we have clear to close and we're ready to go. And I'm like, fantastic. And then I got a call like 2 minutes later from my title company that said, we discovered something that we didn't know. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to close.
On your side?
On my side. To which.
After a marker throw.
Yeah, I was like, first of all, there was physical violence.
So they threw a bunch of markers at me, and she didn't. She was gracious. She was, how do we get this thing to come in time? And just really, really, really good. So I just want to say thank you for not throwing markers and for being gracious.
Did you at least text him, get it done?
Get it done. And by the way, it got done. So that was really good.
Karma, Kevin, karma. Weird. All right, awesome. Okay, so we've got some really cool things that happen. I don't know how to move this thing off of here. How do I get this so it's on the? Yep, just there we go. All right, so when we're gonna go through this stuff, I want you guys to clap. Why? Because these are some pretty cool things for people to experience, right? So for first listing, we've got Jesslyn Otto. First closing, we have Jennifer. I think Jennifer's on potentially as well. We're supposed to be clapping. I just asked for clapping. And then for Trey, he's got his first closing. I can't see. How do I get this over so I can see what Jordan and Zach did? Are they closings? All right, so first closing for Jordan and first closing for Zach as well. All of these people were either in Ignite or, I mean, pretty fresh. I mean, in the last few months getting their license. So that's really, really cool. They got to work really fast. So nice job, guys.
Way to go.
All right, so congratulations on who capped. So this is a big deal because there's not a lot of brokerages or offices where you are getting 100% of your commission. And all of the people here capped last month. So we've got Alex, we've got Ben, Tony, Ryan Cole, Brian, and Terry. So congratulations, guys. And for once, I feel like I can really tell Alex and Ben apart when they're on a photo, like side by side. I was like, oh, I can figure out who's who on this one. Well, no, yes, that too. Yeah, if they don't switch that up, I'd be really in trouble. All right, Jim, are you on?
You might have to open your bar up again. The one that you minimized there.
I see no Jim. All right, so we will just switch past broker minute if Jim is not here, but we'll make sure that we get you an email with his advice.
We have to wait till after the numbers.
Okay.
Before I can do, I have a culture award giveaway.
Okay. Yeah, that was like that.
Person's a little late.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go through June numbers. The reason we do this is one, we get to celebrate you guys, but two, we're also going to look at what the market's like. And the piece of that is when we're looking at these numbers, I think it's important for you guys to look at your numbers as well. So if we as a market center are outpacing the market by a certain percentage, what are you doing in your business, right? So are we riding the wave with that, or are you actually outpacing what the market is as well? So we'll go through this and then we can have a little bit more of a discussion on it as well. All right, so top individuals for June closed volume. We've got Terry Friedland, Jennifer Aprizio, Colleen Schultz, we're clapping. Ashley Cristostomo, Scott Nagel, Jelena Moe, Wade, we've got Kevin Campbell, Alex, and Paul Norby. Terry and Jennifer, wow, nice month, you guys. All right, top individuals listings taken. These are all the people that wanted to get on that boat cruise, guys. So we've got Della Johnson with 3, Terry with 3, Kevin with 2, Alex, Ashley, Colleen, Jelena, Jordan, Scott, and Trey Scott with all 1. Nice job. Listings taken volume. Della, number 1 spot with 1.2, Terry with 900, Ashley with 715, Kevin with 675, and Scott with 525. All right, top individuals with GCI. Why is this important? Because this is what commission is going into your pocket. So number 1 for June, we've got Terry, and then we've got Jennifer, Colleen, Scott, and Ashley. Terry, did you see? Are you like, I see your face right now. Right?
Wait, that's June. It's not December.
No, that is June.
Wow.
Nice
That's
job.
exciting. Thank you.
All right, so top teams, we've got some great things going on with the teams as well. So closed volume, we've got Desert Property Twins with 2.9, Steinbach Home Selling Team 1.8, KW Commercial at 955, Barber Home Team at 580 or 781, Cole and Company 683, Scaro Group 462, the Weiland Group with 456, Bateson with 260, and the Me and Commercial Team with 200. Woo! Job, guys. All right, listings taken. This is really, really fun. Where is Derek? I'm like, where is Derek? All right, so listings taken. We've got Steinbach Home Selling Team with 5 listings taken, Weiland Group with 3, Barber Home Team with 1, Bateson Team with 1, Cole and Company with 1, Scaro Group with 1, and the Me and Commercial Team with 1. Listings taken volume. We've got Steinbach Home Selling Team with 1.5, Weiland Group with 1.3, Me and Commercial Team with 1 million, Cole and Company with 400, and Scaro with 325. All right, top teams. Top teams GCI. We've got Desert Property Twins, Steinbach Home Selling Team, KW Commercial, Barber Home Team, and Cole and Company. Okay, so top groups with closed volume. This is incredible, first of all. So 1 month in June, we've got the Homers Group with 14.4 million. We've got the Sorempa Team with 9.5 million. We've got the Exceptional Home Team with 4.1. We've got the Brahma Real Estate Group with 3.6 and the Strobel Group with 1.4. You guys, there's not even any group under 1.4 million. That's insane. Nice job, guys. All right, listings taken. The Homer Group has 13 listings taken. Sorempa Team has 8. Brahma Real Estate Group has 7. Dwellings Real Estate Team has 2. Stedman KW commercial team is 2, and the exceptional home team is 1. Okay, so not only do we just close out on some big numbers, we also have the Homers group with 8.5 million taken in listings, Sorrento team 4.7, Brahma real estate group with 2 million, Stedman with 583, Dwellings with 476, and the exceptional home team with 289. Nice work. All right, so top teams with GCI, we have the Homers group in the number 1 spot, Sorrento team 2, Brahma real estate group with 3, the exceptional home team with 4, and Stedman commercial team with 5. Nice job, you guys. All right, before we go through our market center, I see Jim on here. Jim is gone now.
Yep.
I saw Jim.
You know, those all add up to more than a week, right?
I don't know who
It's a
that
lot
is.
of weekends, so that adds up.
Who's talking? I don't know who it is. I'm like, who is it? Jim? Okay, he's gone again. All right, so market center numbers. Let's talk about this. If we see Jim, can somebody tell me when he pops on? So we can go through broker minute. So this is KW versus the MLS versus our area, and it's for June. So as we look at this, I'd love to get your opinion and kind of your take on it. So KW Lake Minnetonka is outpacing by 26.7%, whereas the MLS is 18% and our area is 14. So we're not following kind of what the market is and the MLS. So when you look at these numbers, I would challenge you to do it on your own business too. So where are you versus where you were last year? And is it something that it's gained just by you increasing your business, or are we kind of flooding with the 18% that the market's taking? Closed volume, we are up 43.8%. The MLS is 31.8%, and our area is 34.3%. Listings taken, we are outpacing by 6.6%. MLS is 2.4, and our area is down by 5.4. I want to stop on that number. What do you guys take from that piece?
Well, we're outpacing ourselves by over 10%, right?
Okay.
Capturing market share.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when our area is down and we're up by that amount, what do you think we're doing? I mean, what are we doing? I should ask you guys that. What are you guys doing to get these listings? Because obviously they're down, or the MLS just is not up as much as us. So what are we doing differently? Anyone that's taking listings, what are you guys doing?
We had to get on the boat.
This is true. So do we have to get on the boat every single month? Is that what we got to do? You're like, we need incentives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, budget for it.
Yeah, we're talking. Heather's like this, Kami, we need to talk about this after the meeting. Like, no, but honestly, so you wanted to get on the boat, but what did you do to get on the boat, right? So what were the things that we were doing for anyone that got a listing in June? What did you do? Like, it just randomly came out of thin air because you were wanting to get on a boat, or what were the activities that you were doing? This is where I'd love you guys to share. Referrals? Okay, did they just randomly come, or did you call your sphere? Okay, yep. And just like reaching out and seeing, what's happening. Okay, anybody else?
Mine was also maintaining relationship with the sphere.
Okay,
I think being purposeful behind everything we do, and actually, I think for us, we have Wendy and Maddie have been doing a great job of just connecting with everybody that they know, but with a purpose, whether it's not necessarily just getting them listed, but just getting in front of people and talking to them. And from that has come result.
okay. Can I just give Maddie a little, she might get embarrassed, but we were talking the other day and she randomly was like, I only have 55 people in my database. I'm behind. I need to get my database up and running. Okay. I don't know. How long have you been licensed? Like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. She's got 55 people in her database already that she's aware of at 100% in her database. And you know what I said to her? I said, I bet you're about 50% ahead of anyone in this market center right now. Because how many of us can raise our hand and be like, we have 55 people in our database with 100% of their information in there? Not a lot, because last month we did the spin the wheel and there was not even half of our market center with 200 people in their database full at 100%. So kudos to you, by the way, for being in here for 3 weeks and having 55 people, which she thought she was behind on. And I was like, you're like 5 steps, don't stop, but you're like 5 steps ahead of a lot of people. I mean, because it all comes back to database. 3 people just got a listing because of their sphere. If that doesn't kind of push you into that database portion, or at least touching base with them, I don't know what will. So that's awesome. All right. Anybody else for what were they doing to get listings? You guys got 7. What'd you guys do?
We got 9, just looking at them.
Were those all submitted?
Yeah, we got 9.
Okay.
So we got 9 of them in June, and looking at all of them, I think 7 of the 9 were specifically a conversation that when the clients called saying we're considering listing, is the market still hot? It was just an immediate yes. Because the market is still hot until it's not. So if someone can tell me that it's not right now, then we'll slow down. But we got 2 going on this week and 3 going on next week for that reason. And those few of those are not on here. It's because people are asking if we should be listing now. And again, as of this last weekend, yeah, the market is still pretty crazy. We'll find out this weekend when we list a couple more if the market is still moving very, very fast. So people want to take advantage of the opportunity and capitalize on the timing right now.
So Rick, what do you say? I mean, because the market is hot is such a vague, when people say that, you're like, okay, yeah, the market's hot. What does that mean? Right? What do you say to them when you're like, what do you mean by that? Right? Like, does that mean days on market? Does that mean what they're netting? How do you coach through that with someone asking, is the market still hot? In order to set the right expectation, right?
Yeah, I guess the first thing is being accurate with the market analysis, because we just sold one that was down in Savage, and we literally went to them and said, last year your house was worth this year it's worth $100,000 more, and we sold it for $120,000 more than it was worth last year, because we did a market for them last year. So then this isn't a $500,000 price range, so that's a pretty significant percentage increase in a neighborhood. I think that people need to be aware of that. So just getting those numbers to them swiftly in the beginning, because they're asking, okay, now the next question is, well, what are we going to do next? Are we going to move? Well, for $120,000, do you have to move right now? Or can you do an interim move? Can you do a short-term rental? Can you take time to find something in the event that we don't, in the short period of time after we sell, and have that conversation with them? And 50% of the people are not moving. The other 50% we're finding them houses, because as expected, the market's not going to keep going this way for listings. We've seen massive increase in supply over the past couple of weeks. And so we are also telling the sellers that it's going to take you 2 weeks to get your house ready. It'll take us 3 days to sell it. And then you're going to close in 30 to 60 days. That gives us 30 to 45 days to find a new house. And in that time, supply is going to continue to go up. So the expectation is we're hopefully going to be able to find you something. Again, that's hopefully. 6 months ago, I would have never, ever said, hopefully, we're going to find you something to a buyer. Actually, for the last 23 years, I never said that ever. So I'm being a little bit more realistic about the slight possibility that we're not going to find them a home in the right time.
So I love the fact that, okay, if a house went up by 120,000 in a year, right? What you said on, would you be willing to rent? So if they made an extra 120 this year, what would it cost them to rent for a year? Maybe even 2 years, right? Like, is that worth selling now if it's going to cost them X, and they still would have more than when they sold a year ago?
Rent versus mortgage.
Correct.
No what,
yep.
You're paying $2,500
Yep.
rent.
And what does that look like with,
$2,200.
yep, with what you're paying down, principal and everything, yeah.
And just for perspective, that couple went out and we wrote we had a tough weekend. I shared this last time, last meeting. So there was a particular weekend we rode with these guys at 50,000 over and 55,000 over. This is them coming to the other side, and we didn't get them. They did buy a house for 15,000 over, and they're going to close on the same day. So it is possible, and you know it can happen. But they were also prepared to do a double move, do an intro move into their parents.
How many of us are prepped and ready to have that financial conversation, right? Because I think previously when we were selling houses, this is what it's worth. These are the negotiation tactics. This is what the time frame to move is. But are we really prepped and ready to have the conversation of, you know, if you'd have sold last year, we would have been here. If we sold this year, we're here. And this is what financially you could do with that extra cash. How many of you are comfortable having that conversation? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you're not, is that something that you would want to have almost like a scripting session with of how do you walk through that, right? Like, how do you walk through, here's your extra 20,000. This is what you could pay in rent if you're in this area. Does this make financial sense? Who would be interested in that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's Terry's like, I would, because I think that's an interesting way, right? That's more all encompassing in a wholesome conversation versus, hey, let's get the most for your house. Now, what are we going to do? And I think a lot of people are doing that right now.
Everybody's read the paper, everybody's watched the news, everybody knows the market is hot, right? It doesn't mean that necessarily you're gonna have the house that's gonna sell $100,000 over.
Yep.
So I would also, I'm not a listing agent, but I would also get a temperature of, don't be greedy. If you put it on at this price, don't assume it's gonna go 55, 100 over. If you put it on at this price, it could very well go for this price. And if you don't take that, maybe getting less and less.
Good point. Yep.
And I also has to look good.
Yep.
Still should have it in showing condition. Oh, this is an awesome house, but this has happened.
Well, and I think that's also part of, I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago that we went through showings, right? How many showings are happening? Because there was a pretty large decrease in showings over the last few weeks in regards to average for most houses. So are we setting that expectation too? Because again, it's like, oh, you've got, 55 showings on houses and you put one on and there's 4. Immediately that seller's like, what's wrong with my house? Right? Like what did we do wrong? Did you overprice it? Is it going to sell? So make sure that you're looking at that too. What showings are happening in that area so that you can set the expectation for your sellers. All right. Listings taken volume. We are up 12.6%. MLS is up 9.8 and the area is up 1%. Listings sold. We are up 27.8. MLS is 18.3 and our area is 14.2. Listings sold volume 44%. MLS is 31% and the area is 34. So I like the contracts written one here. So this is future. So this is either this month, next month, August, whatever month it is, but we are up 33.7%. So as we went through our numbers just now, this means that we're going to be up kind of even more in the next few months. The MLS is up 20.4% and the area is up 15.9%. Contracts written volume outpacing again at 44.6% and MLS is at 33.9 and our area is actually up 36%. Those are, yeah. And we can get those to you just to share on any social media site with your clients, whoever it might be. Okay. So this is year over year comparison for us. And remember, yes, last year was different. Heather gets really excited about these numbers, like really, really excited. Do you want to share these numbers, Heather? Like you go through them every single month. And I'm not kidding. Like she usually like yells from her office, like, guess what? So, I mean, we've got some great numbers this year. Closed units were at 122. Last year we were at 110. Closed volume, we're at 58.6 million. Last year we were at 41.1. That's the second highest ever June record.
That's the second highest ever, and it's a June record.
Oh, and it's a June record. See, this is why she's so great at this.
All time, and that's a June record. So that's
And which is interesting because the actual best month was October 2020. So, I mean, when you think of 2020 and you think of what October looked like last year, or 2020 in general, that's pretty amazing. So this year we took 65 listings, our listings taken, and then 2020 we did 48. Listings taken volume, we did 30.1 million. Last year was 19.1. Listings sold, 2021, we did 56. Last year, we did 45. Another record is listings sold volume. We have 29.5 million, and last year was 17.8. That also is the second highest ever, correct? June record. Awesome. And the best month again was October 2020. All right, contracts written. We wrote 126 contracts this year. Last year, we're at 131. Let's talk about that. So what was going on last year if we were outpacing on contracts written? Do we remember June last year? That's when we actually started getting back into business, I feel like, after the shutdown, right? And we kind of had this backed up log of people that were wanting to buy. We didn't know if we could get them into houses. Do we all remember that? Right? So when I think about that number that we wrote 126 this year, and you were thinking of a backlog of at least 2 months of business, and we only were shy of that by 5, that's a pretty good month. I mean, because really last year that was like multiple months of contracts getting written that kind of all happened in June. All right, contracts written volume. It might have been shy by 5, but it was 65 million worth of contracts written, where last year it was 55.8 million. So that's an all-time record. What's that tell you about price point right now? I mean, when we're talking about things going 120 over list, I think that kind of shows it right there, right? Price points up. What I would be conscious of is as we're looking at the volume in any of this, right? So we were down on units, but we outpaced by 10 million, okay? So when you're tracking in your business, what's more important, volume or units? Right? So this market shifts and we aren't selling 120 over list price anymore. What do we want to be tracking and keeping up with, that we're actually selling more units than necessarily tracking the volume? Because that volume is very dependent on what the market is. Would we agree on that? So when people are like, yeah, but I sold 10 million and I only, you know, my units were down, but I'm happy with it. That's awesome. But make sure we're aware of that if the market would shift. Do we know how to kind of up the units portion of that so we can still be doing the same amount of volume? All right, so closed GCI. This is really cool. So we were at 1.5 million compared to last year, which was 1.1, and that is actually a June record for us. So gross commission to you guys was 1.5 million in 1 month. Yeah, if you guys aren't excited about that, like, I'm going home. That's awesome. And then just profit share wise, this is also a really cool thing, which is unique to our company. So last month we shared 20.9 thousand in profit with you guys as agents. And that was compared to last year at 25. And again, you know, in regards to that, that's a little bit different just because of what was going on last year with COVID.
That number is also important because profit share went down when the guy went up. That meant that more agents cap, therefore profit was less. So more agents made
More money.
More money.
Yep. Absolutely. And those are all things that when we're looking at these numbers to be conscious of, right? So how do we go up with GCI, but profits go down? Well, that's because we're not taking anything from that anymore, right? So as an office, we're not just collecting any company dollar. So good point. What ahas or questions do you have in these year-over-year comparisons? Anything? I mean, it's exciting, right? I'm gonna ask a really transparent question. As this market has been really, really good, right? And inventory is low, right? But we're getting some record numbers just in regards to volume, a ton of buyers, and obviously contracts written. Who is prepared or potentially questioning where the market's going, and what will happen if it shifts? Anyone thinking that? Okay, what are we thinking? What's a conversation around that piece? I mean, because we've been celebrating for quite a few months about how we're, more and more records and more contracts written and outpacing the market. When that inventory starts going up, right, and we can wait a little while and things are sitting on the market, what are we thinking? Okay.
One of the biggest advantages of Keller is this education that we get. And I used to tell people, and they said, why don't you work at Coldwell Banker or Sotheby's or Edina Realty? And I said, they've grown relatively complacent and they're big machines that take a long time to move. Whereas Keller Williams is constantly moving, constantly shifting, constantly changing to the market. And that's critical. We need to do that as agents. So rather than saying, okay, the market's going to shift a little bit where the supply is going to go up, prices are going to start to calm down. We're not going to be in multiple offers anymore. What am I going to do? It's simply changing gears and focusing more on what the market is going to yield best at that time. And so trying to predict what the market's going to look like in the fall, which I think without question will be much better for buyers in the fall. So we can prepare our buyers, just hang tight, enjoy a really, really nice summer with your family. Let's make sure we stay in touch with each other because I'm going to keep you informed as to what's happening on the market. And you can do something just as simple as every 2 weeks, send them the amount of houses that come on the market every Friday in a 24-hour period, something like that. So they're seeing 300 and then 800 and then going to be 1,000.
Can you remember when there wasn't 1,000? I mean, I remember like daily there were, the numbers were so different, like when the market wasn't like is now.
And then the other thing that's kind of fun is to think like back in 2015, it was like a real estate utopia. There was one buyer for one house and it was beautiful. And that is something that we can look forward to. Like this is a crazy, fun, exciting market for sellers. And we obviously are all earning, 5 to 10%, we call it bonus, essentially a raise.
Yeah.
A 5 to 10% raise because the prices are going up. But really, the nice market and the enjoyable market comes when things balance a little bit better. And I think all the buyers and sellers out there, regardless of their situation, probably feel the same way. It's a little bit hectic.
Yeah. Well, the other piece of that too is you brought up rentals, right? As we're making more money and we're planning and we're doing whatever, how many of us are planning to potentially get a rental? Anyone? Right? So as we're thinking about that, this is a really good time to be like, oh, these are the ways that I can use a rental, right? I can use it for clients that need long-term. I can use it for, Airbnb status. I mean, what are we doing with what we're making? And this is kind of that long-term plan. Like, how do you get that residual like income that's passive, right? Think about that. Let's celebrate the GCI and what we're bringing in, but let's also plan what we're doing with that. And if you're like a little bit like, I don't know what to do with that, email me, right? That's a time where we can sit down and kind of do the plan of what does that look like? How much do you need for that income property? And how do you go about it? Because if we don't own income properties right now, how are we selling that to anybody else, right? Because we work with investors, we work with people that want duplexes or want rentals. Own one so you can have the experience as well. All right. Are we on to this one?
We are, we're just not here.
Okay.
So I received this awesome award from Jelena last month. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You know, in my role, I have so many people that I would love to give this to. All of you guys, all the agents, all the staff, everyone is so good to me, so nice. And the culture around our market center is truly incredible. I love seeing it. Everyone here is very, very helpful. But I am giving this to, she's kind of a newer agent. She's been here about less than a year. I've seen her help a ton of newer agents. I've seen people reach out to her. I've heard, people have came up to me, hey, how, can I reach her? I got a quick question for her. She's really supportive. She's generally here at all the meetings. And I just really think she's been a big asset to all of us here since she's came on, and that's Danielle. Just, I see lots of people going up, a lot of the newer agents going up and asking her questions. She's always willing to help, and she's just, yeah, it's been great. And I know she's really supporting command, getting her contacts in there, and setting up those smart plans, and it's just been really great to see. So, yep, she's wonderful. Love to have her.
Awesome.
Yay.
All right. So now we've got the wheel of cash.
Oh, and remember campers that we've got the water bottles in for.
Yes, we do. Okay, so when your name comes up on here, I want you to get in a line and we are gonna keep clapping with the clappers because that's what makes that little wheel go around as you get your spin. So if you have one, get one. Otherwise, if you have more than that, we're gonna do them all consecutively.
And there may be even more spins.
Well, there's actually a surprise spin afterwards. So remember, we are actually adding something random so you don't know if you'll be on that list or not. So stay tuned. All right, so spinning for cash for listings taken. We've got the Dwellings team 2, Barber Home team 1, Brahma team 8. Why did he just leave? Jim 2, Kevin 2, Ryan Cole 1, Ashley 1, Terry 3, Homer's team 10. No one is here for that. I wish I was on their team. Della has 3, Exceptional Home team 1, Jeff 1, Jelena 1. You guys can start lining up. Scott Nagel 1, Jesslyn 1, Alex 1, Jordan 1, Tony Sarempa 6, Colleen 1, Trey Scott 1, Scaro team 1, Stedman team 2, Steinbach team 5, and the Weiland team 3.
And if there's
All right.
if we missed anyone, any mistakes, please
Oh,
come
hold
up here
on
and
a
take your
second. We didn't even start clapping yet. You can't just spin right now.
Oh, yay, I'll clap with all the money.
All right, ready? I don't have a clapper. You guys got. One. All right, we got 5, right? Yeah, we got 5. All right, so 1. Really give it it's gotta really go. 2, 3. All right, we got 13. We got 18. All right, we got Jelena with 1. 5. 1. 1. 5. 1.
Purple. Wait for purple.
It's weighted. Look at that pink. So close. One. That was one. Yep, that was your last one. Oh, Bob's here. You guys got 10. Five. Ten. Trey, I always am impressed with your dress. Like, just it's always like spot on. Oh, you can spin again and double it. See, it's a positive vibe, Brahma. Oh, 5. So we got 10. You spinning? Yeah, you representing the team. All right, we got 10. Jeff better let you keep this. 20. Oh, this could be the big one. Just like $200 right here. I'm gonna have a talk with Jeff on this. 5. I got my fingers. Yeah. 10. He's got some big ones. 5. 5. It's not on purple, Brahma. 1. 5. 5. Got one more. Yep. 20. Oh, you got one more. You have one more. One. All right. You need the clapper. Oh, you're like, it's like it's a soft. 1. All right. Next time, next time. Spin again and double it. Twice this meeting. So she got 2. All right, Jeff. You got 2. 2 spins. 1. 20. Woo! Lunch is on Jeff. All right, so the next thing, it's whoever has their database on smart plans, right? Whoever's using a smart plan.
Yeah.
So agents using a smart plan can come over here, line up, and you got 1 spin. So if your name's on there, Jacob's like, I'm on smart plans. Hold on a second. I got one on there. I'm getting on there. Woo! I want to see someone like on Price is Right, just jumping. Woo! I mean, I like the meeting where you just start handing out cash. You have 5. All right, Brahma. You got pink. I'm thinking pink. Thinking pink. Thinking pink. Oh! One.
Oh.
That was so close. Wendy,
Come on.
put some muscle behind that one. Oh,
Come on.
big money, no whammies. 40 for the smart play. You know, I feel like that is so fitting. You started database club, just doubled it. Nice work.
job, Wendy.
Oh.
$1.
Oh, look, there's Kevin. One. Oh. Oh. All right. She's keeping it. 5. No, we already did that. This is for smart plans. You already went. You got 3 spins, actually.
Where were you?
Yeah, I was here.
Come on, yeah, come on, Paigey.
Pay attention to what's going on around you.
He's lead genning.
No, come on, Jeff, this is the first time, isn't it?
First spin. Woo! Don't spend it all in one spot. $5. All right, Alex. Can we talk about everyone thought that we just hired Alex to play kickball? Come on. Woo! All right, guys. So that was
Can I just say, that's like a smart plan, so they're really easy to put in place, right?
Yep.
Super easy, and there's that monthly neighborhood nurture, which.
Yeah, every time you have a, go ahead. You're
No,
good.
it was
Every time
what?
you have a contacting command, if it has an address with it, it automatically assigns them a neighborhood. All you have to do is put them on Smart Plan and it sends them something every month. All the homes that are sold around them in their area, just like that. It's a super simple setup. All you need is their name and their address, and it'll email them every single month over and over and over for you. You don't have to do anything. And then you can see, you can see that activity page on the side when they're getting it, even what they're looking at. So they click on it, look at it, you can see what they're clicking on and looking at.
Wait, so it's one click besides just having contact information?
Yeah, as soon as it's in there, you just click it. That's not. And there's
An address.
well, yeah.
You need
and
the
if
address, but you should,
Yeah.
you should as an agent.
I know.
and
As
if you
it-
bother- if you have multiple people you want to add, just come bother me.
Which also, if you guys need to figure out how to get someone's address, I am so good at stalking people. So just come to my office and I'll show you. You know, whatever. All right, moving on. Congrats to everyone who won. Danielle, can we give her her award?
Oh, yeah.
So I actually have it videoed, all of the wonderful things that she said about you. So very well deserved. Now you have an acceptance speech.
She said I have to make a speech when I give it away.
We can do that too.
Okay.
Danielle's like, wait, hold on a second.
I'm not prepared. But thank you, Heather. I truly do appreciate it. And I will go back and listen to all of this things that you said. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to passing this along to the next person. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, we've got about 4 minutes, so let's do needs and wants. So anyone that has any buyers needs, any new sellers that are coming up, go for it. Hold on a second, just so that the people on Zoom can hear you as well.
We have an Excelsior. It's 520-ish. It's right across 7 from downtown Excelsior. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's super cute. It's got 2+ car garage, tons of storage. It's on the block with what's the lake on the other side there. So it's cute. We sold it to them like 3 years ago, and they're just moving to the other side of the street. So we just sold it yesterday. Probably put it on until next week. So if you want to see something before it's on the market,
That's fine.
I have my first listing coming on It's gonna be active on Saturday, and it's coming soon right now. 2-bed, 2-bath condo in Plymouth. It's Rockford and 169, so pretty accessible. Yeah.
Awesome. Jen, I really like that it said at hockey on your thing, and I didn't notice that until I just expanded the screen. So I hope hockey went well. She had in like parentheses at hockey.
So I'm looking for raw land in the Delano area. Anything under 200,000, 1 acre or more, that you can build on, no covenants or anything. Still looking.
Awesome.
I have 2 listings coming up. The first one people will be able to go through on Friday, and that is in Plymouth. And it's gonna be listed for $365. It has 5 bedrooms, and it's in the Wayzata School District. Super cute, split level walk-in, and bi-level way. But super cute, great yard. And the second one is in Edina, very close to 62 in Tracy. That one has 4 bedrooms, and it'll be listed for $450. And I am looking for 2 buyers. Who are actually 3 who are just kind of breaking my heart because this is hard to have buyers. The first one, they're looking for a house with 3 or more bedrooms with for price between $350 and $450. They'd like to be on the west side. That's great. They go as far south as Eden Prairie. They would love Wayzata School Districts or Orange School Districts. The other one is looking for between 2 and 20 acres. They can go up to $450, and they'd like to be somewhere west. And the third is a family who would really like to be in Eden Prairie, and they're going up to $650. So anything can have Eden Prairie up to $650.
That's the whole kind of buyer in Wayzata up to 700, anything. So condo, townhouse, small little house, just something I think you can. And then we have 3 listings. The first one is Maple Grove, Wayzata Schools, and that's a great combination. It's a 2-story, 6-bedroom, 5-bath. 2009 built by NIH Homes, so it is absolutely gorgeous. Really nice, backs up to nature. That goes on in about 5 minutes. And then the Champlin one, $825. I don't know, a nice neighborhood. It's actually a
sold.
It's a cul-de-sac too.
Apple video in a lot.
What's the address?
It's nice.
Fountain Lane North, 6290 Fountain Lane North. And then the next one is Champlin. This house is actually fantastic as well. This was built by Hanson. It's a 2-story. I'll tell you the price right away. $630. It's a 2-story, 6-bedroom, 4-bath on a private wooded lot built in 2002. It's got tons and tons of amenities in Champlin, so that's a much nicer price point if you're willing to go into Champlin. It's a really cool house. And we have one in Minnetonka that is in the neighborhood of Windsong. I know that for sure. It's south on Linner. There's a really cool traditional big 2-story house. It's 5,000 square feet. This one's going to be listed at $975, available next week. Just remodeled the master bathroom, 3-car garage on a massive lot. It's like a 3/4 acre lot with this huge yard in the back that's private. So under $1 million in that neighborhood with all the new construction that's there at $2 million is very, very nice.
Terry has something.
I have a buyer in the Otsego, oh my gosh, Otsego, Big Lake, Monticello, Rockford area, 300 and below. And then another buyer around up here in the Forest Lake-ish area, looking for some acreage, 550 and below. And then another in the Rockford, Hanover area at 500 and below. So
Awesome.
Colleen has another one.
Colleen has another one.
We have a listing coming on in Coon Rapids this week for 200,000. It's got 3 bedrooms, absolutely adorable. And then we have it's actually a townhouse in Eden Prairie, and that's a 3-bedroom, and it's very close to Highway 4 and Highway 5. So if you know somebody who'd like to be in Eden Prairie, and that will be listed for $290,000.
Jen has one for 2-bed, 2-bath. I'm guessing 2-car garage under 300 in the Mound area. She needs 2 of those, and then a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1-car under 260, anywhere between Mound and Norwood. I think I got those right. Anybody else? Yeah. So if you guys have any, or you're thinking of, buyers that are coming up, email Lydia so we can get that out as the wants and needs email later this afternoon. Otherwise, you guys have an awesome day. It is 12:03, so I want to be conscious of your time. All right, go get them, guys.